All right, so start the meeting at 6:11. And the first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call. I'm here. Bob Ham. Here. Dell.
Here, present.
Christina Fonsev, absent. Andrew Miller, absent. Dylan is absent, but Adelaide is present. Thank you, Adelaide. Public comment. I don't have any speaker slips. Did anybody who wanted to talk that isn't a nominee want to speak? Okay. Then moving to board member comments, I have a couple before I open it up. The nominations closed at 8 o'clock this morning. Because everyone running is running unopposed in their positions, we're declaring the election concluded without a ballot. Therefore, those who wanted to speak for their positions, I still urge you to do that. But we're not going to go through the mess of a ballot. We'll have the list of nominees posted shortly. I'm going second order of business. I'm going to move the principal report to when he gets here. He is currently in traffic on his way from the Purple Star Awards up in Escondido. There were at least 4 traffic accidents that I heard about on my way down here. My last note is that we voted to put the election date March 23rd to 31st at a prior board meeting, so it doesn't need to be on this consent agenda. Other board member comments? None from you, Bob?
No.
Nothing from Dell? Okay. Then let's go to the nominee presentations.
Hi, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tatiana Gavino, and I put in my name to be nominated for a board position at OTA. One of the reasons why I would love to sit on the board and serve alongside you all is I really believe in the school's mission. I believe in the community that's being built here. And I think it's something that I'd like to continue seeing the school strengthen and build upon. I think that what the founders started with core knowledge is important, and we'd love to see that continue. I also think that we have an opportunity to really invest, not only the school, but get involved with the community. And I think we're starting to do that. And we're seeing a lot of community engagement that I'm excited about. So I hope to continue that. And I just hope to be able to be a sounding board and provide any help I can while I'm here. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Chris Caballero. My son is a 6th grader here at OTA. I guess I would say I think I'm excited to be on the board. There are a couple things I'd like to bring up. So I'm a recovering engineer. I only bring that up because I like to solve problems. And I would say OTA has a lot of really solvable problems. I think we're already seeing a fairly significant change in direction. We're seeing a much better relationship between the board and the administration. And I think that's really core. Having that be a beautiful relationship where the board and the administration work together and not against one another. So you have happier students, happier teachers who are doing more, supporting the core curriculum. And that's how you get more enrollment. That's how you get better cash flow. And we're already seeing some of that. We're seeing more kids that are coming into the school, and having that focus on working together and being publicly having OTA do well in online forums and things like that. We're already seeing that drastically improved. In the last 3 months, we went from a 6 to a 9 on, I think, schools.com, or I think it was Great Schools. So that's the exact sort of stuff you want to do to get more enrollment. So we want to keep that momentum going. So thank you.
It sounds great. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well. You gonna talk?
You?
Yeah,
So,
all right, yeah, I think it's all only fair. Well, I fell in love with the school when I was working here and, as director of IT and, teaching robotics to kindergarten through 3rd grade. I saw the light come on in the students' eyes and realized how much power comes from this place. And, would really like to see it flourish. I think it has a tremendous future and, we've got some hurdles to get over, but I believe they're all achievable. So that's my statement.
I'm a co-founder of the school, and I've been active at the school for the last 15 years. One of the special things that I have been involved in is watching your children grow physically and mentally from kindergarten through 8th grade. Watching them stumble and fall, letting them get up and move on. And many times watching their classmates help them move forward. Also, I brought the core virtue program to this school that shows our students how to be good people and gives them opportunities to be good. One of the outstanding things at our school is our team of dedicated teachers who do an unbelievable job in teaching your children the core knowledge program. And it's because of them that our school is going to be, again, the star in the education community in San Diego. When we grow into our new building and have new things and new ideas to move forward. Thank you.
Okay, so then we'll move on to student report.
I actually don't really have much to say. Everything's been going super well lately. I haven't gotten any like negative feedback back from questions.
Okay, all right, good, that's fair. That's fair. Parent Foundation.
Mark, I do have a teacher report, if that's
Oh,
from, it was sent to me.
After finding those.
My head of, okay, thought it was next, sorry. Continue.
Usually comes after.
Got it, I read it.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to let Danita go as soon as possible.
Foundation is up next.
To go be cold somewhere. Yes, Jen.
Just a foundation report. You have the letter that we sent out as a foundation update for the last month. And just another great activity filled month that we've had. We're really excited to have Maria Reddig officially taking over the duties of treasurer. So we actually took some time to review the current budget and make some adjustments and reviews for the cost reports. So we'll be able to do some announcements at our next foundation meeting about where we're going to allocate some of the funding. We're really excited about some of our revenue generating activities coming up. So I'll talk a little bit about that. The middle school dance was amazing. Thank you so much for Addie and Cassie and her mom, who truly was an amazing spearheader of the wonderful event. If you go on our Instagrams, you can see some of the photos and all of the decorations. So it was such a great time. Also, a big shout out to Ethan, who was alumni and DJ, and couldn't ask for a better DJ for that night. So we're really excited. I think the kids had a lot of fun. We actually ended up making a few dollars on that too, so it was great. After that was the Read Across America. That went for the entire week. Big shout out to Alexis, who really spearheaded that. Some of you may have seen our book swap crates, which allowed a lot of the kids to come and bring a book and take a book, and it was really a lot of fun. I think the elementary school students in particular were really excited about that. What was really exciting at the end of the week was that we had volunteer readers come in and read a book to each class. One volunteer for each class read a book. We had everybody from parents to grandparents to Aspire Club, Aspire Center vets, and also a children's book author. So that was really exciting. We also had our third grade teacher appreciation lunch, which had a really nice St. Patty's Day theme and lots of green. There was also, I heard, a great fun game. So that went really well. And then at our last foundation meeting, we voted to take back the responsibility of the uniform sales. One of the things that we found was that the cost of the uniforms for purchase were quite expensive and also taking quite a long turnaround time. So we've voted to take that back as something that the foundation will take responsibility for, and we hope to put a lot more to increase the amount of revenues that would come in to the school as a result of that. This Thursday, that's tomorrow, is exhibition day, so we're really excited. We're going to have a foundation booth. The last booth we had at our Q2 exhibition was super successful. We sold a lot of tickets for Glow Night then, and we're hoping this time to sell tickets for the gala, which is coming up, as well as next week's movie night, which I'll talk a little bit more about, and then also introduce everybody more to our foundation and some of our voting that is going to take place next month for the rest of our board members, foundation members. And this Friday is going to be very special. It is our Purple Star recognition and celebration. We are excited to have Mayor Todd Gloria there, who will be speaking. We will also have a number of special guests from the community who will be there as well. Huge shout out to Mrs. Rice, who really spearheaded everything, and for our foundation member Alexis and also Nikki, who were really helping out to make this, I think, a wonderful event. So really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of great fun, and also please wear purple. And next week, instead of our annual movie night, we're actually going to have a movie family day, which is a Barnes and Noble / Ultra Star Cinema event. So students and parents have already been purchasing tickets to Hoppers, which I'm really excited about. It's a new Pixar movie. We'll be watching that. And also students will have a chance to go to Barnes and Noble, which is right upstairs, purchase books. They'll have some activities. Any sales, a percentage will go back to our school. So not only is it a great event, it's also because it's near our new school. It's a great way for us to really get engaged with the community. At Barnes and Noble, we'll have a little stand, and that'll be able to tell everybody about this new school that's coming to the area in a few years. And finally, most important, we have our gala coming up. It's a big event this year. It is our most important fundraiser outside of the Jogathon. And this year we are hosting it here at OTA. We think that's going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, our middle school dance was a sort of run up to this to see what we can do, and it was quite magical. We've learned a bit from that. So we're going to have a similar theme called Through the Looking Glass, which has a whimsical idea. We're really happy and excited to have the Salentinos involved with some amazing wine tastings that will take place, some lovely donations in terms of food that have already come by. Thank you, Mark. And then also we'll have music, we'll have a silent auction. We've got some great prizes that have already come up. We are hoping that everybody here as part of the board will be helping us out because we really need any invite lists, we'd love to reach out to VIPs that you think would be interested in coming. We're going to also, any types of auction items or fundraising ideas that you have. We are very much looking forward to it. So thank you again. See you guys there.
Thank you, thank you. Tomorrow, my Rotary Club does news
Yes.
at every meeting, and I ran the committee for a while, but I'm sponsoring the news tomorrow. And reading a blurb about Friday's event. And then I got lucky and reserved a spot on April 16th to get the microphone to talk about the gala. But I'll need, one of the things they fine you for is putting literature on all the tables. So I need about somewhere north of 100 flyers to put out.
For tomorrow?
No,
Oh.
no, that was this afternoon.
Oh, that
No.
was this afternoon.
No, the April 16th
April
is when
16th, got
I can pass the literature out to the club.
No problem.
We usually get around 120 people at lunch every Thursday at Liberty Station.
Perfect. We'll make that happen. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, Janina, are you with us?
Hello, everyone. All right, so this evening I am going to be presenting the January Financial Board Report. And if you remember from the last board meeting, I presented the second interim budget. So the second interim budget has the July through January actuals. So some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about tonight in the January financials is some stuff that we've kind of already touched on the second interim. All right, can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
All right, wonderful. All right, so here we are as of the last closed month of January 31st, 2026, and this is based on what I just mentioned, the second interim budget. So to the right here, we have our LCFF funding. The LCFF funding is the funding that the school receives. It is the largest amount of funding that the school receives. So you'll see that funding schedule to the right. The cash balance as of January is $325,110 across all sources. And then at second interim, we had 201 students enrolled with 180 ADA. So the ADA is approximately coming in at about 11,464 per ADA. And our P1 at second interim, we knew came in at 180 ADA, which was going to have a negative impact on our revenue in the amount of $132,500. So at that time, we talked about how there would be some short cash falls in the last few months. So leadership is aware and they are deferring payments to go ahead and move forwards with that. So now moving on to our revenues. Our revenues from July to January are $1,718,951. We are currently 55.3% towards our year's budget. We did not have any overages or under budgets for January because we realigned the budget at second interim. But we do have $1 million of budgeted revenue around restricted funds that we are tracking and making sure that we are spending down those funds each month. All right, next we have our expenses, which is $1,782,326. This as well, we are not under or over budget due to the realignment at second interim. So we are currently projecting at the end of this fiscal year a deficit of $151,308. And then for our next fiscal year, 26-27, we are anticipating that the school year would have a deficit at this time of $626,296. So therefore, we would have a negative ending fund balance. Therefore, I know that the school is working on trying to look at some new grants for next year so that we can go ahead and get that put into the budget for the next year. So I've put everything on this condensed slide here. And then you also have the supplemental documents that go along with the presentation. I won't present those or go through them, but please do look through them. Is there any questions that I can answer for the board?
I have a couple of questions, Janina. Good evening. In the second bullet point on this page, it states that the school leadership is actively working on mitigation strategies, and you've mentioned that one of those strategies is deferring payments. Are there any other strategies that are being applied to this area?
So at this time, deferment of payments is the only option. We've looked at lines of credit, and unfortunately, OTA has not been accepted for any lines of credit. We have looked at other avenues when it comes to funding. So that funding obviously would be going into next year since we're so late in this year. But that's pretty much where we're at, is we've exhausted our options for line of credit, and then school leadership is looking at grants, but that would be for next year.
Okay,
And remember, you're looking at January's financials, not current. So there's things that are coming in, like I'm gonna mess it up, Janina.
CYHBI funds.
See how you got it.
yeah,
CYHBR is coming in.
yeah, that's that
Yeah, that wellness
wellness
program,
program.
right?
Understood. And so that's my
30,000.
question. I'm sorry, say that again?
We did get 30,000 that should be coming in for that.
Okay, so I guess the mitigation strategies ties to the last bullet point, which talks about the fiscal year, projected year-end deficit. And I recall this being a similar conversation from our previous year, right? So it almost seems like we're finding ourselves in this, we're moving up and then we're moving down and we're moving up. And so is there a solution around this, I guess, is where
Yeah.
I'm going with this, because this was a very similar situation last year. I think our number was different, but we still ended the fiscal year in a deficit. And that deficit then causes us to not necessarily go into panic mode, but we're now looking at how do we
Right,
improve, so.
right. So the deficit is an accounting element. It isn't cash, right? So we solved the cash problem for this year, we believe. But the true fix is enrollment.
Right.
And so, like, I've been talking, Rotarian just renamed her agency. And I've been talking with her, and like, she's gonna throw in a free report after the Purple Star Awards for what kind of media coverage we get. And we're doing business cards for the teachers and staff to spread around. So, you know, we're hoping the gala throws off funds like it used to.
Sure.
And a number of other projects like the Grant Watch efforts to try to find some new money. But the real fix is enrollment.
Okay, and then I guess to that point, how, from an optics standpoint, right, how is the school district, San Diego Unified, when we have this deficit, when this comes back up, is there any correlation to this deficit to our opportunity to continue with the project at the new school?
Oh, they're waiting for us to make our financials in a better place.
Got it.
But
So
they're not gonna change anything like the school, the new building process is
in
underway.
process,
And it's
right.
gonna not go away,
Sure.
right?
So when you say they're waiting for us, is there a timeline? Do we have a deadline, a hard stop on that?
No,
Okay.
not yet. I think if some of the moves we're making now, that we can talk about, you know, in a couple of months.
Sure,
I think that will let them sit further back in their chairs.
okay,
But yeah, they're concerned about our future for sure.
Yeah, so I
And-
guess I'm just, as I look at this and I reflect on this also being a topic of discussion last year,
Mhm,
last fiscal year,
mhm,
if we're showing the same trend
mhm. Yeah, well,
outside of enrollment and deferment.
right, well, we're already higher than the enrollment that was reported.
Yeah, it's great.
And we're not in control of when, they have two different times of the year that they take that number.
Yes.
And so, between now and next October, we get our enrollment up, that starts to generate more money.
And is that number still sitting squarely at 250? We would still need to increase our enrollment by.
That's the target.
25%.
That's the target,
Is our.
right?
But that target then puts us in. Are we
Well,
in the black and not in the red?
I don't believe we'll get, I don't know, but I don't believe we'll get to 250 by fall.
Yeah.
But I think we can get to a number that will encourage the district to relax a little. And I think with the other efforts going on to raise funds, I think we can make it so that we have a much better report at this time next year.
Janina,
Yes.
you caught all that?
Yes. So I just wanted to add a couple of things there. So I think that what it is that we're really day by day, right? Because at this point in time, with what we're looking at, we can see with the information that we have that we are projecting a deficit for next year of nearly 700,000. Now, can that change tomorrow? Most definitely. If a grant comes in and the school is approved, that position may change. So it's really hard to predict the outcome due to the nature of not knowing where we stand with the future of future grants coming in, the enrollment, it's all based on projection.
Thank you.
Of course. Is there any additional questions that I can answer for the board?
Anybody? Any more to go? Okay.
Oh yes, I had another note here. So
Yeah.
the $1 million budgeted revenue based on restricted funds, we touched on that a couple of months ago, I think a couple of meetings ago. I asked about, I know, Janina, that you work closely with the team on the back end to make sure that the designations, the numbers are aligned with crediting towards that
Right.
budget.
Right.
Do you know percentage of spend at this point? Are we nearing that $1 million spend, or how are we doing in terms of our progress with that?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen here because I do have it included in one of the slides further down in the presentation. So bear with me. This was something that I worked on with Devin at the end of February. So, oh, I don't know where you guys went. I've got too many screens open. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna just toggle on through to that slide. So we won't see this updated until our February close because I did work on this with Devin for a few reclasses into these accounts. So at the end of January, this is where we're landing. This is essentially not even halfway, right? This, we have expenses that are sitting in unrestricted accounts. So I've had to essentially go through the general ledger and ask Devin and what items are to go into these funds, because unfortunately they weren't coded on the front end. So we're having to kind of do that cleanup now. So you'll see that caught up in February.
And that, you're saying we'll see it caught up in the next report we receive for February 26th.
Correct. We've worked
Okay.
on some reclasses. I've had my team go in and do those reclasses. So we'll see that screwed up a little bit better.
Okay.
Where we are looking at from a January standpoint.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course. Is there any additional questions that I can answer?
I'm good.
Well, that's all right, that's all right. That's all right. No, I think we're done. Janina, thank you very much.
Well, thank
You
you
can go
everyone
back to
so
being
much for your
cold
time.
now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Turner, do you have Andrea's report?
I do, she sent me the report.
Great,
Yep.
great.
So Andrea apologizes that she couldn't be here tonight, but she sent me something to read. So, the teachers have been busy wrapping up Q3, and there's been a lot of fun happening on campus. 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Read Across America Week and dress up days, a reading competition, and a book swap party. Both teachers and students really got into it, so it was an exciting week. We also had our Alice in Wonderland themed middle school dance, which was a huge success. Thank you again to the foundation and parent volunteers who helped make this happen. It was a great night for our students. We also have a lot coming up. Tomorrow is our exhibition day from 2 to 3 p.m. There's so many great projects on display, and we always love seeing board and community members come out to support our students' hard work. We hope you can make it if you're available. This Friday will be especially meaningful as we celebrate our Purple Star honor, which reflects the work of our OTA community that they've done to support military connected students and families. And next Friday is OTA Movie Day at Ultra Star, which students and staff are definitely looking forward to as a fun way to wrap up before spring break. Thank you for your continued support of our teachers and students. Please reach out to Ms. Miller if you have any questions. Thank you for the teacher lunch as well. It's fun. We appreciate everything. That's it.
Jen, you're on the correspondence with Ken Nesbitt, right?
Yes, it's already included in the calendar. So if
Excellent.
you go online, you will see that it is, I believe, it's April 6th,
22nd.
22nd.
22nd. The first, April is Poetry Month in the country, and April 22nd is the first day of the Scholastic Book Fair. Ken and I used to write together for a computer magazine, and then he decided to start writing children's poetry, and was the U.S. Children's Poet Laureate for 2 years, and is going to do 3 presentations, and we're going to get some of his books into the stock here.
Very exciting.
Okay, Melody is upstairs, I think. She printing the, yeah. And we don't have Devin yet. I wonder how badly he is locked up. Yeah. So I think we could probably proceed with his presentation.
Yeah.
David, you want to go ahead and step in?
Yeah. Good evening, board. There's a few familiar faces and a lot of unfamiliar faces, so let me just introduce myself, David Graves, CPA. I started out my career auditing school districts, and then I worked at a charter school as their CBO, Santa Rosa Academy with Mrs. Laura Badillo for about 11 years. And then around the time COVID came out, I started my own business, and I started working with another CPA that did audits. And then he passed away last June of 2025. And then I pretty much took over his business. So I pretty much do audits, lots of audits now. And so pretty familiar now with, after taking a hiatus from that for a few years, that's pretty much all I've been doing. And so basically, an audit is an expression of an opinion on the financial statements. The financial statements themselves are the school's representation. I express an opinion on it. And there are several other reports that within the audit report, there's also a state compliance report where during the audit, I review different compliance requirements that the school has, because you receive state funds and they want to make sure, for instance, that you're tracking the attendance of the students and that reporting is accurate, because that affects, of course, your income. how much revenue the school gets, obviously, is like you guys were talking about before, based on your enrollment. That's probably the biggest driving factor of revenue. You guys did, back in 23-24 year, get some pretty big, grants through your parent foundation that they provided. It was, the source of those grants were in the community, as you know, a lot of you know, but that didn't happen in 24-25, and so it made it more of a challenging year as you weren't bringing in, I think it was like 23-24 is like $1 million of additional revenue that you brought in, and maybe there was the final payment, like 250,000 in 24-25, but the bulk of that, you know, revenue appears to be one-time funding. And so basically, there wasn't a going concern issue. That's where there's serious like doubt that you're going to be able to continue as a going concern. There's nothing like that, because like you expressed earlier, it's more of an accounting issue. Like when you look at revenue minus expenses on an accrual basis, meaning when expenses are incurred, so forth, you do have some reserve, but growing your enrollment, that's going to be huge. That's the bottom line right there. You got to grow your enrollment or you got to cut, and 80% of your expenses is going to be your payroll. And so, you know, you can cut, you know, Office Depot expenses all you want, you know, but and there's things you can do to be frugal and stuff, but really the payroll is where most of your expenses, and unless you can grow your enrollment, you know, the board really needs to evaluate those things. But anyways, keep in mind, this report's focused on 24-25 year. And the report was just a few days ago. I got the letter from the state controller that the audit report was approved by the state. And so that's good. And then you guys should have gotten a letter as well on that. And so just some highlights on page, page 4 of the report. It shows how much cash you had at year end at June. This is June 30th, 2025. You guys are on a fiscal year, not a calendar year. So the last day of the year is June 30th, 2025. At that point, there was $370,356 of cash that you had. A little bit of cash in the county account. Most of your cash was in the checking operating account. Accounts receivable, the amount that was owed by the state at that point was $327,337. So then what was owed, there was $412,000 in accounts payable. That's mostly payroll. It's a payroll timing thing. Like if you have a payroll that runs on, I'm just going out dates, July 2nd for the period of the last 2 weeks of June, then that's what's called an accrual. You accrue those wages even though the cash hasn't been paid out yet. And so that's why that payable is so high, because you had a payroll in there. Then there were some other things too, like rent or things like that are vendor. There was amount owed vendors too at that date. So your equity position at June 30th, which has gone down from when I started but it's still meeting the state required standards that they require. You'd have 3% of your operating expenses. So if your expenses were $1 million, then you'd have to have like 30,000. You know, that would be the bare minimum. Actually, you're smaller ADA, so it's actually 5%. So you'd have to have 5% of operating expenses in reserves. School districts, it's typically 3%, but you guys, your ADA is smaller, so it's actually 5%. And then also, if you look on page 5, you look at the revenue and expenses. You were able to bring in $3.2 million of revenue. And your expenses were 3.9. So there was well, she said it earlier, we're projecting for the next year, about $700,000 deficit. Well, that's what you had in 24-25. But, if you look on page, one other thing. See, if we look on page 19, we reported average daily attendance of 183. I think I heard her say in her presentation that you were at 200, either ADA or 200 students. If you're
There's
at
201 students and 180.9, 181 ADA.
Okay. So, I know there was a discretionary block grant that was given out. So that can help a little bit towards, that was one-time funding that wasn't expected.
Mhm.
That will help but yeah, it's definitely a challenge for the school, but anyways, as far as like your compliance, like on all the testing that I did, my opinion was unmodified, meaning that not only was the financial statements fairly stated, but I didn't have any findings for state compliance, and I didn't have any findings for as far as your internal controls. I'm not responsible to express an opinion on operating effectiveness of your internal control, but I am required to report on any significant deficiencies I find or any material weaknesses, and I found none. It's pretty strong segregation of duties. You have CSM charter school management company that's taking care of issuing checks separately. Within their organization, they have checks and balances. Devin has to issue approval for them to spend things. They're checking on, is this an allowable school expense? So there's good checks and balances all the way around. As far as the attendance go, I test to make sure that there's an override of management, that the teachers are really the ones that they're the Bible when it comes to taking attendance. I have to go by what they sign off on ultimately. And then if like a student writes an absent note for a student, I have to make sure that they were recorded as absent. Or if they were tardy, a student can show up for 10 minutes and you still get the attendance for them. And so those are the kinds of things I have to look at when I'm doing the audit and make sure that you're in compliance. So, and then as far as the financial statements, again, unmodified opinion, the financial statements were fairly stated. I didn't see, and there was no fraud or, any problems that I came across in the audit. So I really appreciate the opportunity to provide this audit report to you. And is there any questions from the board of me?
What period do you when do you start the audit and when is it done right about now in a year?
Yeah, so the period ends June 30th. And then, so I can start doing interim audit work, like not quite yet, but maybe like April, Mayish, like do interim, like testing attendance and things like that. And then the second phase of the audit would be like around September, October-ish, maybe even as late as November, but that's kind of getting a little late. And then the report's due to the state controller on December 15th. And so that's kind of the reporting timeline. What's nice about coming a little bit earlier, and I'll try to do that this year, is if you come earlier, like if there's problems with, like for instance, you have to get a certain number of instructional minutes. Now, it's kind of a low risk area because you guys pretty much keep the same instructional minutes every year. So, which are more than in alignment with the state standards. But that's an example of something that I'm supposed to test. And if there was a problem, I could let you know. But, and then, your attendance, I can test that. And, if there were any errors in reporting, I could, help you fix that and then not be a finding, so, so that I'll try to start working on that, like in maybe April, May, around there. I also do some tax work, so it's, after April 15th, I'm a little more free to, to do other things, so, anyways, that's pretty much,
Okay.
is there any other questions?
Any other questions?
No.
Anyone have?
Thank
No.
you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have known boards that got, modified opinions and, various ways of saying that they were concerned, ongoing concern issues. So I think we're in good shape, better shape. Melody, do you want to do your report now? And can we get that list printed so everybody can have it?
Okay.
So why don't you give your report and then we'll move on. I'll let you go up and make that list.
Did he share this?
He just indicated to me, he's 7 minutes out, or 7:22 is his estimated arrival. But he said he emailed it to you.
Okay.
So why don't you do your report and then we'll pause for a bit.
Okay. Our enrollment is going up. So kinder, we have 19. First grade, we have 25. Second grade, we have 20. Third grade, we have 25. Fourth grade, we have 26. Fifth grade, we have 24. Sixth grade, we are at 28. Seventh grade is 22 and eighth grade is 21, bringing us to 210 students now.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's, and for the next measure of the LCAP funding, that's gonna be against this number. And the ADA, the measured against, we're funded on average daily attendance, but it's bounced as a percentage against our total enrollment. So, that's what this will fund for the next round of money that comes in for next fall.
Correct.
All right, thank you. The Purple Star ceremony must have gone longer than they were figuring. He's not gonna be here for another 20 minutes. We could do the consent agenda. Yeah, yeah. Or Bernard, do you want to give his report?
Yeah, I can read his report if you want.
Why don't you just do his report?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Good call, Preston.
Okay, yeah.
It's the Academy Awards, you know, the dress got caught in the heater in the back and there, yeah.
Okay, so I am reading Mr. Phillips' board report. It's with great pleasure that he submits this board report to you. First item is open enrollment. On January 26th, OTA opened enrollment for the 2026-2027 school year. Open enrollment will remain open until March 20th. Returning students will have open enrollment from January 26th through March 6th. The lottery will be conducted the morning of March 27th. The Purple Star Award and Ceremony. I'm ecstatic to share that Old Town Academy has been recognized as a Purple Star School. That's where Mr. Phillips is, why he's late. Purple Star School is a school recognized by the California Department of Education. We're demonstrating a strong commitment to supporting military-connected students and families. The designation highlights schools that provide programs, resources, and transition support to help military students succeed academically and socially despite frequent relocations. It also signals that the school has created a welcoming, military-friendly environment that understands the unique challenges military families face. On Friday, March 20th at 8 a.m., we will have a Friday flag ceremony to really highlight the recognition. The mayor and other important community members will be there to share their thoughts on the importance of being a Purple Star school. I hope you can all attend. And then Mr. David Graves just gave the audit report. So that was his last item on the report.
Okay, thank you, Terry. All right, well, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? First, let me ask if there's any one who wants to pull anything from the consent agenda. Okay, okay. Can I get a motion to approve it?
I move.
And a second?
Second.
Uh, uh. Doing the vote. Bob Ham,
Yes.
Dell,
Yes.
Christine is not here. Andrew is not here. And the students don't vote. So with a quorum of 3, we have a majority. So the consent agenda passes. Any new business?
No.
Now, let's see. It's not gonna go bad 20 minutes fast enough. Uh,
Is there something that we're waiting on him specifically to do? Was there an additional comment or?
I don't
anything
think
that
so.
needs to present?
Melody, have we got that printed out yet?
The printer is not ready, but I'm also creating the document to go upstairs to.
All right, great. All right, let's wait till she comes back with that. I think it's important that the nominations be on record.
I have a question. You said a form of 3, right? So you're a yes.
In our new Rosenberg rules, and even in Robert's rules, the chair doesn't vote unless it's a break tie. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Supposedly the chair is a relatively impartial seat.
Got it.
So we need to play the Jeopardy music. Da, da, da.
So when you made your board member about this election, they got it as a period to be on there because it's been established. We weren't removing. We're just making it count.
I was removing it.
Oh.
Because it was,
Okay.
I shouldn't have had it in there to start with. Right, right, because we're already on record as having voted for those dates.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that I.
Yeah.
Express it.
And I was actually looking forward to having lots of people want to be on the board.
And you eliminated my position.
I did. What do you mean?
Well, you said. No, it was not.
No, that's secretary of the corporation. That's a different than the board secretary. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's. Just like we don't have a CFO, so we have a treasurer because CSMC is our CFO. And a company can't be the CFO. Yeah, I don't have anything else from a new business standpoint. We'll just wait for Melody to come back with that list.
Could we go and close and then come back
Oh, that's a good idea.
to it and then finish with?
That's a great idea.
Then-
Um, that's actually one of the things that we need to have him in the room for.
Devin,
Yeah. I think,
It
right.
might be better for this to go and close, that way we can turn the camera off, and then you can show the,
Let's see,
you can make an announcement while we're waiting.
right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go, going into close at 7:01 or 7:05, sorry, 7:05. And so once you've done that, let me know. coming out of closed session at 7:50. We have nothing to report on the public employee performance evaluation. We did receive the list of nominees during closed. And I'm gonna invite a discussion among the board about what we should do about the fact that there is a contested position. Comments, anybody? We can't make any changes tonight, but, you know, I think it would be wise, since I already said during open that the election was done, I think we should, potentially extend the nominations and change the election dates and have an election. Coming out of closed session, 7:50.
Who mentioned?
You were one of them.
What?
You were one of the three.
Oh,
Sorry, I realized you guys are in a meeting, sorry.
so comments?
I agree.
Agree?
Yeah.
Agree with that? That's not a vote, by the way. We have to follow Brown Act to agendize votes. But it's potential that we're gonna need to have a special meeting in order to make that change. So with that, there's no other comments? Okay. Adjourning at 8:52.
8:52, 7:52.
7:52. I apologize. Yes, thank you.